Okay, so now that you have learned eye fixation, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the other elements in the Dynamic Hypnotherapy Master Template on page 10. This is your roadmap. So now that you've got your client's eyes closed, the next thing you want to do is you actually want to get right into the session. So hypnotherapy is really quite simple. There's nothing really complicated about it at all. A good hypnotherapy session is going to have an induction, and an induction is some kind of procedure that allows your clients to take their awareness from the external, distracting things in their environment back inside so that they can focus exclusively on what it is that you have to say. And then once you've got the induction done, then the next thing to do is to deepen the experience, because you now have created this state called hypnosis, and you want to be able to teach your clients how to deepen it. And the reason for that is you'll know it yourself that no matter what state you're in, that you can go in and out of it so many different times during the day. Right now, as you listen to my voice, you could start daydreaming until I suddenly, hello, bring you back to focus on what I'm saying. And when you're experiencing hypnosis, you could be feeling wonderfully relaxed. You're really focused in on what I'm saying. And suddenly, you nearly nod off. You drift a little bit too deeply. You almost fall asleep and you come around. And you want to go back into that hypnotic state and you want to stay there. Or I could hypnotize you. And what could happen is you're experiencing hypnosis, it feels lovely, you're really focused on everything I say, you're feeling the suggestions. And then suddenly you have a thought, did I lock my car before I left it in the car park? Did I turn off the gas? Is the cat still inside the house? Some random thought just pops into your mind and now you're suddenly somewhere else. I'm here with you, you're here with me, but your head is just gone somewhere else. These things happen to us all the time. So in hypnosis, we want to teach our clients how they can deepen the experience so that if they do become distracted or if they do go too deep, they can actually deepen and come back with us. So we do an induction, we do a deepening technique. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to actually anchor the experience. Now you know what an anchor does. An anchor is something that's pushed off of the side of a ship or a boat in order to keep it in one place and to stop it being dragged by the tides or the currents. And an anchor in hypnosis does the exact same thing. Again, it's another way to stabilize and keep our client in that state. So not in the hypnotic state necessarily, but in a state of confidence, in a state of relaxation, in a state of empowerment. The anchor will be different for every client that you work with. So today you're going to learn a very basic anchor. It's one that's used by divers when they are coming up for air. What they do is, as they reach the surface of the sea or the lake, wherever they're diving, they'll do this to whoever's on the boat in order to let the crew know they're A-okay. Everything's all right, no problems here, we're coming up, everything's good. So in hypnosis, the first anchor you're going to learn is this one, the very same one. So that's the induction, that's the deepener, and that's the anchor. And then at this stage, you're ready to do your therapy. Now, if you look at your book on page 10, you'll see that for step number 5, where it says interventions, that there are a whole list. We have 2 types. We have symptomatic and we have dynamic. Now, in the symptomatic section, you have the cloud technique. You're going to learn that on this course. We have the direct drive technique, we have mirror therapy, and then for dynamic, we have regression hypnotherapy, we have parts therapy, we have internal conflict management. You're going to love it. What happens when you have this little voice that keeps sabotaging your success? You're going to learn how to deal with your internal voice, but also how to help your clients deal with theirs. neuro-linguistic hypnotherapy. You're going to learn the VK dissociation technique. You're going to learn how to do inner child work. You're going to learn cognitive restructuring. What's that, Susan? Cognitive restructuring. This thing here, your thoughts, are the one thing that's likely to sabotage your success. Your thoughts are in a certain sequence and order. How about we change them up so that they serve you rather than you serving them? So that's cognitive restructuring. You will love it. Breathing retraining. Oh, I'm not going to get going on that one, but I will be going on that one further down the line because that's just remarkable stuff. And last but not least, desensitization. Desensitizing yourself to those things that are constantly triggering you, making you feel anxious, afraid, worried, stressed, you name it. Okay, now I'm not doing an intervention today. That's something that's coming further down the line, but the most basic hypnotherapy session will have positive suggestions. This is where a lot of hypnotherapists run off to the internet and they go and find a script for nail biting or for stress or for worries or for fear of flying, something like that. I'm using a script today, but the script I'm going to use is one on confidence, because no matter who you are or no matter what client is coming to see you, one thing's for certain, they will need a shot of confidence before they tackle whatever the challenge that brought them to see you might be. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a script-based positive suggestions. Then very quickly, as you see here in step number 7, I'm going to mentally rehearse you for success. And by doing that, I'm going to show you how you do that with your clients. We're going to reinforce that anchor, and then I'm going to bring you up. And then if we were working here in person, I would be testing the therapy to make sure that you're getting the results that you want. So we're going to leave the testing today. That's another element we're not going to do. So join me on the next video. But for the next one, what I want you to do is I want you to sit yourself back in a nice comfortable chair, and I want you to do better than I've done. So make sure that you have turned your phone on silent, and I want you to set an alarm for 30 minutes from now, okay? 30 minutes from now, so that if for any reason you should fall asleep, the alarm is going to wake you up and bring you around. So, Susan, you might be saying, what happens if I fall asleep? When I wake up, will I be able to come out of hypnosis? Absolutely, you will come straight out of hypnosis. It's a normal state of consciousness. It is part of your everyday functioning, and I will be going into the science of hypnosis and all of that stuff much later on. But let me reassure you, when you do open your eyes, you're going to feel good, wonderfully relaxed. And then in order to feel refreshed, it's up to you to give yourself a nice stretch, open up a window, or do those things that help you to feel energized, alive, and awake. Thanks for listening.